Hi everyone, happy Saturday. I know I'm behind on doing videos, but I'm here now, and I know you guys are all read up on the topics of the news and politics and whatnot, and I've made a lot of community posts, but I thought I would just come on real quick and just give you some intuitive insights of what I think is happening or why it's happening. And first of all, Mitch McConnell. Somebody said online today that they think that he passed away. I don't know if that's true. I agree with other people. He's just barely hanging on, but literally, he's been barely hanging on for a long time. And I do feel like him, when it's 45's turn, which let's face it, 45 is kind of getting to that point. I mean, he's getting to be like Mitch McConnell, where he freezes up and slurs and is lost in space. And clearly, it's an age related issue where his brain is starting to slip and health is failing. My question is, are they going to treat 45 like Mitch McConnell and just have him lumbering around in a way they kind of already are? I think they will. I think they're just going to keep, it's weekend at Bernie's, they're going to keep parading him around until the very last drop, as they say in coffee commercials. No, I think Mitch McConnell is still around, but just not doing great and just barely. He's probably in. I just heard the word hospice, so I think that he's in the end times. I mean, and again, we've kind of seen that. And 45 had this compassionate care administration, compassionate something of that life-saving pill, experimental pill that no one else has had yet. And okay, they're saying it wasn't him, but I felt from the very first moment I heard about that, I was like, oh, it's him. It's like, because when he said a few weeks ago that all of a sudden there was, like, he had some knowledge of some life-saving pill, he said those were his words, that brought you back from the dead. And I thought, oh, well, they've totally given that to him. He's totally had it. What is it? What is this pill? And so when this report came out, I was like, oh, it's totally him. It's there's no doubt. I know they've denied it, the White House has denied it, and everything I say is for entertainment purposes only, not fact, just intuitive insight. Well, anyway, I absolutely feel it was him. And the thing is, he doesn't have compassion for other people. I think it was highly unethical. So here's the thing. Any other president, politician, person, public figure, especially a president, right? Yeah, we want our president to stay healthy and to stay alive, and because we're weaker when we don't have our, a leader in office and someone at the helm. But it kind of, it kind of makes you think, God, he was almost gone. He's just such a horrible, in my opinion, horrible person, does horrible things. Every day is a nightmare. And people have suffered. We're all suffering financially, emotionally, physically. There's like the earth, the nature, the trees, the parks, the forests, everything. War, everything you can think of. Children, he's done horrible things to, in my opinion. And, it's just to think that he was almost gone. And a lot of us felt that. Like I said, oh, he has months to live, in my estimation. And a lot of people out there, especially on TikTok, which I don't take a lot of credence to that, but they were saying, oh, he's going to be gone in March. Well, of course, that was like the Ides of March and a lot of like planetary things going on. And I really think that he was. I think that he was. And they said that recently when he was at Walter Reed, that, no, not Walter Reed, when he was at Camp David, which he never goes to. And a lot of people thought maybe it was for things about the war. He was worried because he was doing stuff with, Iran and the country with the I and the R-A-N, that he was hiding out. But I honestly feel like it was because they had to test this drug, and he was that ill. Now, here's the thing. So they give it to him, and all of a sudden, he seems better, right? Not great, but better. He's still falling asleep. He's still has issues with his bowels and looks bad, looks ill, slurring a lot. Well, I think that when I saw him at the, what was it, the cage match or whatever, which is unbelievable that they even had one at the White House, but when he was chowing down on pizza and fries, I was like, wow, that's weird, because he never does that, never. We don't see him eat like that in public. And I just thought, my God, he's famished or something's changed. Well, how does he have the ability to eat? Like, well, I think he got a false confidence from this pill. And if you notice that right after that, he had to fly to the G7 and he was not doing well. Like, he was stumbling and they had to redirect him many times. He was slurring. He didn't look well. He looked pale. He looked sick, and he sounded congested, and that's congestive heart failure. I think that, a lot of people take Ozempic and Wegovy and all these other drugs, and it helps them curb their appetite. That's how they lose weight. It's an appetite suppressant, really, from what I've heard. And I think it does great things. Like, I don't have a judgment on that. But for him, apparently, what was the strain that he got with this special pill was that it's for heart issues. But I would imagine it also let him feel like he could still eat. Now, people are saying, well, he wouldn't be eating like that if he was on a weight loss drug. Well, here's the thing. He's not your normal person. He's different. He thinks he's God. He thinks he's invincible. And this gave him another boost of, oh, I'm invincible. I can eat whatever I want, and now I've got this life, and they can give me another pill. That's what he's thinking. That's intuitively what he's thinking. They can give me another pill. Now, maybe that's why he had to go to Camp David, because he had a relapse, and they had to give him another dose. And I feel like that's what's going to keep happening, but he's going to keep getting weaker and weaker. It's not going to save him in the long run or even the short run. So that's what I feel about that. And the fact that it was given under compassionate care, or whatever they say, and he's not compassionate. He's not compassionate for anyone at all. He's taken away people's health care. People with disabilities now have no care and are threatened. Their lives are threatened. Their livelihood is threatened. And, it just seems unfair and unethical that he would be given this pill when he doesn't care. Nobody else. He wouldn't care if anyone else is dying. He literally wouldn't care. He would watch someone die and be like, oh, well, you weren't strong enough. I guess you weren't supposed to be on the earth, and you weren't earning me any money anyway, because everything's for him. So it's just sad, that I felt that it was his time to go. But I guess we still have to be in this whole situation with him, and it's only really, I saw King Henry VIII. It's only going to get worse, and I heard the word bilious. And mind you, I'm not hearing voices. It's the intuitive, strong words, thoughts that I'm getting. So that's that. So I feel it was him. I absolutely feel that he was given that drug. And that, again, at Camp David, he was given to him again, and he was under, not scrutiny, but observation at Camp David. And they did it there because if they had done it at the White House or Mar-a-Lago, people would have noticed. If he had gone to Walter Reed, and maybe that's why I saw Walter Reed earlier, that people would have noticed. There would have been speculation. They felt it was better to have him go to Camp David and just say, oh, he's on vacation. And nobody would have had access to him there from the press and whatnot. Okay, moving on. So going back to the fair, his carnival. Apparently, again, this was Smithsonian. They had this whole thing for years, and they allocate money every year for the vendors, for the shows, for the artists. And again, as I posted, it was going to be kind of like the Burning Man and like mini Woodstocks and across the country. But here in this, on the White House grounds, the Smithsonian was going to have this wonderful celebration of 250 years of America, which is a big deal. Now it feels like nothing. It feels like it's been ruined. But he ended it. He pulled their contract. Took the idea, made it into his with his big arch, which looks like it's going to fall over. And he And magically all this money disappeared that they had allocated for all this stuff. And now he's got like crappy acts that nobody knows about and Kid Rock and the food, like you have to pay a whole, I don't know if, hopefully nobody has to pay to get in, but a whole bunch of highly priced basic generic like pretzels and things like that, and like white little tents. It looks like someone set up Monopoly pieces on a Monopoly board, and they're all bland, and there's no culture and diversity there. It just looks like he's trying to have a Roman Empire. uh Anyway, it seems to be a big failure. Oh, and the power went out. See, things like that, when I hear it, well, that's his failure. That's his inept, just like the reflection pool, where he doesn't plan things. He doesn't follow the protocol. He hires, he has people who do favors for him, so he does favors for them. Says, oh yeah, you could do this. And nothing's up to code. Nothing's inspected, so the power probably wasn't done properly. God knows. I mean, I wouldn't buy any of the food there. It's probably not up to code. The Ferris wheel, everybody was like, don't ride that Ferris wheel. And indeed, it shut down too. So, but you know what? Just like the reflection pool, it is a reflection of our country and what's happening right. And him, how he handles things, how he takes all the money and presents a concept approved by him, through him, has his buddies do shoddy, for entertainment purpose only, business, and takes all the money. And okay, what else? That may be it for now. I just wanted to get a message out really quick, so that might be it for now. The thing about, yeah, I think that's it. I'll make a video later. Thanks guys. Bye.